3, 2, 1.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome into Trees 3. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and I am so excited for this new season. Folks, before we jump into this absolutely stacked episode for you, I just have to give you a couple updates about the platform. Our new website is in development, and guys, it looks amazing. Folks, I'm so excited to bring this platform to you. Bracket challenges for your favorite sports. Trivia, daily trivia questions to win tickets to see your favorite teams play live. And of course, our picks, where we have been rocking and rolling. We hit Matthew Fitzpatrick as our sleeper pick at the US Open a few weeks ago. We have some picks in here for the John Deere. And of course, UFC 276 is this weekend, and we will be joined by special guest Tom Theocharis to break that down later in studio. But before we get into it, folks, it's time for our bump and stump of the week. Our first bump and stump of the week. I'm so excited I just knocked out the microphone. Our stump of the week, folks, has to go to Kevin Durant. No surprise here, KD wants out of New York. If he can't go to a team to win a championship for free, he doesn't want to play. And he's probably already called Steph and gone, hey man, great job with that ring and all. Sorry for almost tearing the team apart, but do you want to run it back? Yeah, probably not. It's probably going to be a no there, KD. Look, for all the talent that this guy brings on the court, does any organization need that off-court distraction? I think not. Our bump of the week goes to Naz Kadri. I hated when the Leafs traded him, and he told everybody that said he was a liability to kiss his... I'll let him say it.
You know, for everyone that thought I was a liability in the playoffs, you can kiss my ass.
Way to go, Naz Kadri. If you're one of those fans in Toronto that thought he was a liability, think about this. Before those suspensions, the Leafs were winning those series, and you were upset that they lost without him in the lineup. Well, they haven't won without him in the lineup anyway. Naz Kadri, bump of the week. Guy shows up to the parade wearing a Too Many Men shirt. What a beauty. Also, Alex Newhook, congratulations. One of our first features here on Sports Tree. Guy wins a Stanley Cup. Great guy. Happy to be affiliated with him. Alex Newhook, congratulations, and all the Colorado Avalanche. You guys are awesome. You guys get our bump of the week, but especially Naz Kadri. Coming in number 3 this week, folks, is the John Deere Classic at TPC Deere Run. No, the field isn't great. We probably won't be tuning in, but it's golf, and the Bogey Club gives us all the picks that we need. That's right, all of our picks here on Sports Tree, all of our golf picks are brought to you by the Bogey Club, premier golf simulator and lounge. If you're up in the GTA, head up to Newmarket and check it out. Now, our pick package is available now, but let's just review because the tournament already started. JT Poston leads the tournament after an opening round 62, good enough for a score of 9 under. Adam Svensson, one of our sleeper picks, shot a 4 under 67. Cam Davis, one of our overall picks to win it. In his last 6 starts, he has a pair of top 7 finishes, including a T3 at the RBC Heritage. He shot a 3 under 68. One other guy that I want to note was Nick Hardy. He tied for 14th at the US Open and finished tied for 8th last week at the Travelers Championship. He gained over 13 strokes on the field in those previous 2 events combined. He's also had success at TPC Deere Run, making the cut here as an amateur in 2017. Look, folks, he's an Illinois native, and I'm all over this pick. I know he's only even par right now, but he finished with a birdie finish on 17 and 18 to get to even par. I think he's knocked out those little nerves, and now he's ready to go low heading into the weekend. So look out for Nick Hardy. Formula One is back in action this weekend from Silverstone. It's the British Grand Prix, and man, oh man, do Lewis Hamilton and teammate George Russell ever need to step it up. It is time for those Mercedes to get going, but bigger news, Hulu has planned a scripted series for F1 driver Daniel Ricciardo. Whether it'll be any good or not remains to be seen, but I'm willing to give it a try because any guy that's willing to win a race and then drink out of his sweaty racing boot, I have to respect. Shoeies all around, tied to Avesa, love that guy. Big shoey guy. I like my shoeies. Let's talk about the race now. If we're looking at the standings, Red Bull's kind of running away with the F1 circuit this season, and Ferrari needs to get their acts together. As for this week, I really don't see much changing. I do think that the British boys for Mercedes will give a good push this weekend and finish top 6. So look for that line, a nice top 6 finish for those Mercedes cars. That should be a nice cheeky little line for you. but I have to give the edge to Max Verstappen to win this race. All right, folks, and coming in at number 1 this week, as promised, it is UFC 276, and we have our special guest, our athlete, our fighter, our guy. It is Tom Theocharis. Tom, how are you doing today, and are you jacked up or what for these
Oh my
fights?
God, this fight card is going to be incredible. One of the better cards in a while, man. And this year the UFC has been killing it with incredible cards. Every card has lived up to the hype. And I think we got another banger this weekend. So
Yeah, for sure. It's International Fight Week, so every single one of the fights on this card, from the very first one, there's a fan favorite or a ranked fighter or a former champion in every one, starting with
Some
Jessica Rose
prospects, too.
Clark.
Sorry.
Yep. And we're going to get right into that with one of those prospects that Tom was just talking about. One of the fights that I just wanted to talk about, folks, is the Ian Gary fight versus Gabe Green. Ian Gary 9-0, and rightfully so. He's an absolutely massive welterweight at 6'3" with a 74-inch reach. That would be basically you fighting welterweight.
Yeah.
That's a big frame for a smaller weight class, and he's got the knockouts. He knocked out Jordan Williams. He fought through some adversity in that fight. The one thing I'm not sold on Ian Gary is his defense, his striking defense, but he's taking on a Gabe Green that absorbs over 6.6 significant strikes per minute. So, folks, our pick package is live. You can buy those picks now, but this one, I will say I'm favoring Ian Gary.
this is a big step up for Gabe in a sense of this is a big card. This is a big this is the biggest name he's ever fought. And Ian Gary's came in with a lot of hype. He trains with a lot of good guys at Sanford MMA in Florida. And, the whole experience might be too much for Gabe. I don't know. But, I'm going to go with Ian on this one. So,
Well, we have to talk about Sugar Sean O'Malley. At 27 years old, one of the most tantalizing prospects in the UFC. And now he's taking on a guy in Pedro Munoz who has never been knocked out. And that's what Sugar Show has been saying all week, building up in the media that he wants to be the first guy to put the nail in the coffin. But he is ready to go for 15 minutes. And Tom, I think the big difference here is going to be the speed. If we would look at Pedro Munoz now, yes, he knocked out Cody Garbrandt not too long ago, but he is so much slower than Sugar Sean O'Malley that I think O'Malley's just going to put the pace on him, piece him up, and it could be a long fight. I like the over 1.5 rounds in that one because of how tough Munoz is, but I do like O'Malley to pick him apart. And I believe, folks, here's another free pick for you. Check out our pick package. We got Tom in here. If you guys are tuning in, you've earned this one. Sugar Sean O'Malley is paying plus 200 to win by decision.
wow. Well, first of all, you touched on a lot of good points on this fight as well. I like Sean O'Malley in this one. And you know what? I could definitely see it going to decision because, like you said, Pedro's never been knocked out. But you know what? He is 1-4 in his last 5, I believe.
Yep.
And so, and just because of that, I'm going to go with Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley's obviously riding a bunch of momentum, and he's a big star in the UFC, and I think he's really being built up properly. So.
And now it's time to get into Sean Strickland versus Alex Pereira. Wow, Alex Pereira is the guy that slept Israel Adesanya. He knocked him out, starched him cold. The winner of this fight will get the next title shot. So it'll either be a rematch from the kickboxing days on the regional circuit for Izzy and Pereira, or the wild man Sean Strickland, who I know you've trained with, will get his shot. And I think, just before I give this to you, Tom, I think the big difference is Sean Strickland's grappling is so underrated. And
yes,
I think
completely.
that is going to be coming to the forefront. I know he's a wild man and everyone's saying that he's going to strike, but we saw him be very patient in his last fight and try to win. Yeah. I think he wants this belt. I think he wants to win, and there is a clear path to victory with his grappling. I definitely don't think he'll shy away from standing and banging, but we've seen Strickland be knocked out. Pereira could knock out a horse, so I'm not too worried about it.
This is honestly this is the fight I'm most excited about on this card. I'm going with Sean Strickland with this one. I really like him. I think, he's got an abundance of mixed martial arts experience. Alex Pereira, he's got a lot of experience in the kickboxing realm. He's only 5-1 in MMA. Sean's got the bigger tool set. He could take it to the ground. He could keep it standing, whatever. So I'm gonna go with Sean.
Yeah, I always like to favor the guy with more paths to victory, and Sean Strickland he presents more paths. The one thing that I am worried about with that Strickland pick is if he gets feeling himself a little too much and gets caught in a firefight. it only takes one strike from Pereira. Just ask Israel Adesanya. Moving on up the card, the co-main event, Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway 3. Look, I think Volk won the first fight. He won it on the judges' scorecards, and he won it in the way you score MMA. He won that fight. The second fight, Holloway won. I'll die on that hill. Holloway won. Dana White gave it 4 rounds to 1 for Holloway. I had it 4-1 for Holloway, maybe 3-2. There's no way Volk won 3 rounds. But getting into this fight, you guys are going to have to buy the pick package to break this one down because of how close the line is. But I will say this. They've been 25 minutes twice. They've spent more than 50 minutes in the octagon together.
They're just both super durable, so we'll see what happens. I would love to see it finish, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's been Volkanovski's basically rant this entire fight camp and build up to this event on Saturday is that he's going to be the first guy to finish Holloway. Good luck. Main event time, folks. It's Israel Adesanya versus Jared Cannonier. Before we get into this fight, first off, I mean, my pick is Izzy, just because of how much younger he is, how much faster he is. We saw Cannonier get rocked by Derek Brunson. If you get rocked by Derek Brunson, odds are you're going to get slept by Izzy later in the fight. And I think that's what the key to this one's going to be. I think Cannonier is going to overextend. He's 38 years old. Wow. Realistically, he's not going to have another chance at a title fight. And he'll probably be down on points entering that 4th and 5th round. And that's where I like Izzy to just decapitate him. Beast him with a nasty question mark kick or one of those lethal combinations with an uppercut finish that you just don't see coming.
You know what, though? Jared Cannonier kind of reminds me of a Jan Blachowicz a little bit in some senses. Like, just a big, durable, massive guy. And obviously, we know what happened against Jan and Izzy, right? I mean, the fight could go either way. I would give the edge to Izzy, definitely. But Cannonier's no joke, man. The guy's an absolute powerhouse. Big guy, lots of power. So, I mean, it'll be definitely an entertaining fight, I would say.
Yeah, I'm going to have to ride with Israel Adesanya, but one thing to note about Jared Cannonier, he got his professional fighting start in Alaska. Our boy won a belt in Alaska his last time out. Tom is back in action in August, and we will be here to preview it. We got a beautiful feature coming up. Tom, thank you so much for coming in today to break down these fights. Folks,
you're my boy.
On to the next one. Folks, as for this week's trivia question, we're going to do things a little bit differently till the website is up and running. Up until the website is up and running, all you have to do, wherever you watch this episode, just comment your answer on there, and we will forward you our next week's pick package for free. You get all of my picks for free for the weekend. It's going to be great. Here's your trivia question for this week. What is Tom Theocharis' nickname? What is his fighting mantra, if you will? What is Tom's nickname? That is the trivia question. Answer that on any social platform, wherever you heard this episode, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast, wherever you watch the episode, just comment that answer, and we will forward you next week's pick package for absolutely free. Folks, I'm Conner Rowntree, and cheers. You've made it to the weekend.
3, 2,